What's going on, everybody? This is Ultimate iDevice Vids, and today in this video we're going to be doing a battery drain test between the iPhone 12 mini and the iPhone 6S. So with the iPhone 12 mini being Apple's latest, most comfortable and compact smartphone in their lineup, I think a lot of people who own older devices that are also, smaller and more compact like the 6S would be interested to see how the battery life stacks up. So we have the oldest iPhone currently supported by Apple's latest iOS being the 6S, and the newest, most compact iPhone being the iPhone 12 mini, head-to-head in a battery drain test. Now, it's very important that I let you guys know that the iPhone 6S that I'm using in this video just got its battery replaced by Apple, so it has a brand new battery. And the reality is most people using an iPhone 6S today probably have a battery that's several years old, which most definitely does result in worse battery life. However, the only way to get accurate results out of a video like this is to use a 6S with a new battery, because if I used a 6S with an old battery, the results of this test would be completely random. It would literally just be based on the age of the battery that I happened to be using. So in order to make this test fair, again, the 6S in this video has a brand new battery, and of course the iPhone 12 mini that I'm using is brand new, so it also has a brand new battery. And of course, in addition to the age of the battery in your device, there's also a variety of other factors that contribute to how your battery life is going to be, such as the tasks you're doing on your device, of course, the iOS version that you're running, etc. In this video, we're just going to be doing a few tasks on both devices and seeing how long each of them can hold a charge. And first, I'd like to show you that auto brightness is disabled on both of these devices. And now we're going to set the brightness on both devices to an equal amount using a lux light meter to measure the light output. So in a dark environment, we isolated a portion of the screen of both of these devices to prevent the differing screen sizes from interfering with the light reading, and made necessary adjustments to the brightness levels so they're both emitting the same amount of light, being a pretty high amount of light. Also, if you're wondering about the differing levels in the brightness sliders there, that's due to the fact that different phone screens emit different amounts of brightness, so setting a certain brightness percentage on two devices isn't necessarily going to result in the same amount of light being emitted on both devices. That's why we used the lux meter to calculate brightness. Next, I'd like to show you that True Tone and Night Shift are disabled on the 12 mini, and Night Shift is disabled on the 6S. Also, both battery capacities are at 100%, as you can see. Once again, they both have brand new batteries. Also, they're both running the latest iOS version as of recording this video, being iOS 14.2. Both devices are currently plugged into a power strip, and they're both at 100%. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the power strip and remove the cables. And let's begin with 2.5 hours of YouTube video streaming. We're going to load the same video on both devices, and we're going to make sure it's set at 1080p quality on both, and we're going to make sure it's full screen on the 12 mini. We're also going to be keeping track of time using an iPhone 7. So we're just going to let this video play for 2.5 hours, and then we'll come back and check on the battery percentages. And after 2.5 hours of YouTube video streaming, the 12 mini is in the lead at 84%, and the 6S is at 45%. Next up, we're going to run 1 hour of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. So we're going to launch up the app on both, and we're actually going to get into the game itself, and we're just going to keep the game running on this screen here for an hour. And after an hour of San Andreas, the 12 mini is at 64%, and the 6S is at 8%. So as you can see, the 6S is just barely hanging on at this point. Now, once again, keep in mind that these are some pretty heavy battery draining tasks at a pretty high brightness. But we're going to move on to an hour and a half of Asphalt 9, and we'll see how long the 6S can hang on. And unfortunately, on the loading screen of Asphalt 9, the 6S dies, giving it a total on-screen time of 3 hours and 35 minutes in this test. And interestingly enough, directly after it died, when holding down the power button, you can see there it does show the connect to power source logo. But just a second later, when trying that again, as you can see there, it does actually power up with 3% remaining. So definitely a strange result there, but since it powered off, we're going to count that as dead. But we're going to keep the test going until the 12 mini dies as well. And after an hour and a half of Asphalt 9, the 12 mini is at 37%. Next, we're going to head over to Safari, and we're going to load up apple.com, and we're just going to sit here idle on apple.com for an hour. And after an hour, the 12 mini is at 29%. And at this point, we're going to go back to the YouTube streaming test, and once again, we're going to make sure the quality is set to 1080p and that the video is full screen, and we're just going to play the video until the 12 mini dies. And checking in a while later, 2 hours and 33 minutes into the final YouTube streaming test, the 12 mini is still going strong with 10%. And a while later, 3 hours and 44 minutes into the final streaming test, the 12 mini dies, giving it a total on-screen time in this test of 9 hours and 54 minutes. So there you guys have it. Once again, this was a pretty intense test, but that's what we were going for in this video. If you guys use either of these devices, let me know down below in the comments section what your experience with battery life is like. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.